Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Financial Fitness. I'm your host, Jared Myers, brought to you by the Oldfashion Health Network, Good Health Inside. Now, I am joined today by our producer, Mr. Alvin Watson. It's been a while since you've been on the show, but let's give him a round of applause.
This machine back.
Yes, so good to have you, man. Last year I felt like we did some episodes.
It was about the same time, wasn't it? Yeah, I think it was right for Christmas, right before.
Right around that time, yeah.
In the old studio.
Now it's like, here we do an episode. That was a big one as well, but now it's been a while because the transition of COVID. So with you being a business owner and this network and being able to wear so many hats all at once, how has this time period during 2020 been for you?
2020 has been great for me. I mean, with the exception of I did catch COVID, but in the middle of COVID, I wrote a book. It didn't bother me like I mean, there was a lot of tragedy that we had to get past, Kobe and a few actors and actresses and things that we like, but otherwise I didn't have any. It was like regular life, and then the election thing was a lot. Man. And I'm still having some problems with a lot of and the whole Black Lives Movement thing a lot was going on with that. A lot of unexplained deaths of black men being hanging themselves supposedly. I just recently saw that again in Georgia, I think this past couple of days ago. So 2020, with stuff like that, was more the problem that I had with 2020. But it didn't stop me from continuing to grow. I built the studio up and stuff while I was out. So I mean, with COVID, so yeah, it was great for me. It was great.
Yeah, you just went over some really, honestly, some very things I think a lot of individuals, such as myself, a lot of black young men, black men, in general, deal with on a daily basis, but also seeing it reflect right in front of you each and every day.
Yes, that's yeah.
That was tough.
Yeah,
that's tough.
It is.
But the resiliency I think I've seen in a lot of people, such as yourself as well. Although times are down, you mentioned you had COVID, and
yes,
you were still able to run this network. Now, prior to you having COVID, when the city of Atlanta shut down, tell me some ideas that you were able to come up with that kept things moving here for any entrepreneur or any person getting ready to start a business that was impacted by this. And there have been several that have thrived, but what was something that helped you? What was the takeaway that helped you that you can give the audience? So
as you see, I'm playing with this board. This is our new board, y'all, that I'm really, 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 really loving. So I guess with COVID and 2020, I guess a lot of people in business decided that they just wanted to give in. Like COVID had taken over their lives at that time, but for me, COVID just enhanced it. That was your question, I guess, asking me how did I feel about it. It didn't stop me from being in business. It didn't stop me from trying to run a business. It's like, so you know how we do it in the South. Put God first and just do what you do, right? And so that's what I did. I put God first, and I didn't worry about it. I mean, why worry if you're gonna believe in God and believe He can make a way, or you're gonna worry and act like you believe in God and you really don't, have no faith in Him. So it was, for me, it was just, I just believe in God and just keep doing what I'm doing. I don't have no fear about trying to do anything.
So you just rode the faith. Yeah. And as you've stayed faithful, this center, this area, this podcast, this whole network thrived. And you added new shows, you added new individuals, and you added Peace Mountain. How did you kind of plan together that, seeing that the pieces that you had, working with adding another type of financial show, adding another, I guess, a character building way, street life, you added a few more things. Tell me how the operational asset for you made that decision.
Okay, so Oldfashion Health Network is a network that consists of healthy information, products, services, books, anything that's around the whole health aspects of positivity or information is what I try to do. So it be it financial like your show, be it just regular street life stuff happening every day in the streets. That's to me that's educational and it's healthy. everybody don't necessarily know the streets.
Yeah.
Everybody, so you just get a chance to learn. You don't have to be immersed in something to learn something about it, right? And then even the show Senior Living, at some point we all going to be seniors, some quicker than others, or you hope to get there, right? So the show Senior Living that we have, Gwen has an amazing show, and she constantly educates seniors about different benefits and medications and elections and whatever is going on in the senior environment. And then the doctors that we have, just different doctors. I even have a show called Healthy Pets. We got that show. And all things pets. It's my end goal is to have a television network where you turn the television on channel 39, and then Financial Fitness comes on at 1 o'clock, Senior Living comes on at 2, and just different shows. I really want my own television network. It's the reason why I built Old-Fashioned Health Network. And then I've been able to pick some really, well, not pick. God has sent me some amazing people that it just works. It just works. Even when I first asked you about being on the show, I was like, okay, this is what I got going on. And the amazing thing about Jared, when he first came, he got a chance to see where we were at first. And I kept saying, okay, when you come back next year, we're going to have our own studio and we're going to be at the desk and everything. He's like, okay, a little optimistic in my opinion. Like, sure. Okay, yeah, okay. And then and what actually happened, I got 2 studios. So I took you from one studio to the next. So my apartment that I had, all the way had a beautiful view and all that kind of thing. And we used to film a lot of stuff in there. And then I had studio access within the confines of the building. And then I moved to an even bigger place and made that one of the rooms into the studio. So he thought we really was doing, oh, yeah, this is really it. I said, no, this ain't quite it yet. We got something else. He's like, all right. Because he thought that going from one place to a bigger place, that we had really made it until I started building it. And I didn't tell you until I had got in there, right?
No, not until towards the end when you showed it to me.
And he cries easily, so I didn't want to tell him about the thing.
Here we go. I don't know about this crying aspect.
He gets all choked up. Well, I'm putting it to you like he gets emotionally high about God's blessings. How about that? That's good.
That was great.
He gets emotionally high about God's blessing. He just be like, I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry. So it's not just tearfully about just simple things, but he gets overwhelmingly joy about seeing God do something work. And so I knew he would be excited about it when I got the studio built, because I didn't even tell him I didn't tell anybody that I was building the studio. I didn't tell a soul. And I think in the process, a lot of the people on the network, they weren't necessarily feeling stagnant, but they were wondering what's going to be the next move, what we were going to do. I said, I got something planned, y'all. I got something planned. And when I finally rolled out the studio, he was just like, I don't even have words. It wasn't your words.
I didn't have words. I was just simply amazed. I think I came here when you officially finished on my birthday. Mm-hmm. So it was like an awesome birthday gift.
Right.
Well, not to me, but
to everybody in the network.
To everybody in the network. Yeah. But I just happened to come on my birthday, so it was a great gift to me to see the studio and everything come to work.
I'm just messing with these buttons.
So as 2020 comes to a close, where do you see the network heading in 2021? I asked you this question earlier over the phone.
Yep, you did, and you gave me a chance to think about it. Okay, so where I see the network going for 2021 is bigger than where it is currently now, for sure. We kind of molding our way to where we kind of want to be, the whole newsroom feel and all those kind of things. But I see us having So I will tell you this part of the surprise. There's another extension to this studio.
Oh, wonderful. Before you go on, so we know this show is financial fitness, and we have some aspect. And, right now we're trying to just going through and recapping on what happened on the holidays. Mm-hmm. With the financial crisis and the looming economic recovery that may...
So dramatic.
that may be in the spice. You're still, again, I just am amazed by this. And I'm amazed by all companies that do this. Still adding when the reports are negative. The numbers are negative.
I got a different report that I read from. I just told you about it earlier, and that's prayer. I cannot look at... If you look at... Let me tell you, if I had started this company with the money that was in my pocket, we wouldn't be sitting here. Mm-hmm. So you can't go by what's in your pocket. You got to go by the faith that you have. You can't go by what you see another corporation is doing, because there's a lot of corporations that were doing really well that are now shut down. And you got to look at that. You're like, okay, well, WorldCom, and we all remember WorldCom. They were doing really well and big and growing in Jackson, Mississippi, and places like that. And then all of a sudden they're no more. So you can't build your vision of where you want to go based on an Amazon or something like that, because Amazon could end at any point too.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
You got to focus on where you're trying to go.
And every vision doesn't have to start off as the dream itself. Mm-hmm. It gets built into that. A lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of young people, a lot of people just in general want to focus on, I want to be the next Amazon, or I want to be the next FedEx or UPS, instead of being the next small business that affects one area.
Right.
And then let's make another phase.
Right.
Let's not divulge into that. Mm-hmm. I look back at the first phase of when we started at the first apartment, and then again we moved to the next room, and then now we're here. So it's like the dream is steadily being built around you.
Yeah.
And I think for anybody just getting started with their own company or looking to get into a business or get really motivated, they don't have to look any further or look to get a loan per se. Right. So many businesses can get started with little to no financing.
I'm talking little to no. If you like, for me, I didn't know how to build websites or any of those things. So because I didn't know how to do it, I learned how to do it. I learned how to do what I couldn't afford somebody to do for me. And so that's what you, just like I said, that's what you have to do. There's an opportunity as long as you believe there's one. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You've taken this network to new heights, new measures, new beliefs, but you also have other things that are, I guess, not keeping the egg in one basket, but hopefully down the road generating assets outside of the network. What are some of those things in plan looking like for you outside of this network to continue to build, I guess, a revenue stream, if you will?
So, of course, we got Kids Are Chef. So these are outside of just Old-Fashioned Chef, but a part of Old-Fashioned Chef. I have Kids Are Chef Cooking and Talk Show, which is a show for kids, cooking and conversation. And that show comes from what we grew up in. Every conversation we had with our family was in the kitchen. And so that's how that came. That's one stream of income. And then, of course, Kids Are Chef has its own cookware. I have that I work on. So I'm always building around what I already have, So, multiple streams of income. And then I learned from some of the things that you and I were doing when it comes to investing. So we started getting into this whole stock thing, Robinhood. And I actually took, I wouldn't even suggest y'all to do this because Lord breathes. Okay, let me tell y'all what I did. I would take my rent money and buy Robinhood stock, one that I knew was going to move. If I saw it moving like 50 cents, 40 cents or more within a couple of days, I would take my rent money, put it in there, make that money make a few $100s for me in less than a week, shave it off, and buy supplies to build this building out. But you have to really watch. I wouldn't even suggest that you do that. But that's how I got the money, some of the money I need. I would just imagine you taking $2,000 and you buying, so I'm telling you one of the stocks that I made some money off of. Delta stock was, it was Snapchat.
Okay. We talked about this
Snapchat stock was $11 when I bought it. I sold that stock at $18.
You want to kick yourself because you know what it's priced at right now?
No, the money that I needed, it did what I needed for me for that purpose.
Oh,
so the money I made was for me. You would never get ahead thinking about what if I let it stay, because you won't get a chance to enjoy it.
That's true.
It won't serve its purpose. If you made $10,000 today, are you just going to let it keep making $10,000, or are you going to take the $10,000 and do something with it?
Greed has that aspect to kind of take over.
Yeah.
So you're right in that sense.
Well, I couldn't wait too long because I had a couple of people that was hosting the show. They looked like they was threatening to leave and carry on, and so I had to hurry up and go and get myself together. I'm not calling no names. Getting the answer and stuff.
Oh, wow.
Is there going to be a change? Anything coming along? It's like, well, hey.
Hey, again, back to that part of being patient.
Yeah.
We get taught lessons very early on, and you just have to make sure you do your best to wait on the results that happen. Yeah. But hey, you made a way. Yes, I would never. He definitely didn't mention this to me until after he did these moves. I would never recommend that. Although we're not fiduciaries, not stockholders.
No, don't do
that. But my God, anyway.
Oh, you know what? It's the app. Remember, you had me buying stuff and putting it on eBay.
Yeah,
we made money. I remember one time I said, Jared, I a couple $100. I don't know what it was that I sold. I was like, man, I know. I sold a computer and something. I think I made like $300 and something. So it's always a way to get what you want and do what you want to do. You just got to be willing to go out there to do it. That's it.
That's the ultimate thing. I think
Jackson State taught me that. I just want to put that out there.
Hey. Much power to I Love.
Yes.
My sister graduated from there. You know, she raves highly of Jackson State. With that also being said, what's something you plan to see happen for the HBCU community? You plan to be impacting them in some way in the future?
Yes. Yeah. So me giving back, is that what you're thinking? So I remember when I was at Jackson State and I didn't have some of the financial resources that I needed to get maybe books and stuff like that because my mother, single family home, wasn't able to give me a lot. So there were times when I needed money to do different things for books, to pay tuition or something like that, and then be forced to get a student loan, which was just like a disaster, as you can tell. You know, student loans are just not it. But my goal is I cannot wait to donate that first $500,000 to Jackson State, then that first $1 million to Jackson State, anonymous. I'm not that person that want to get out on the football field with a check. I just cannot. Let me just tell you quickly the story. So you know how we go with tithes and offering in church, right? I'm that guy that will put my tithes in an envelope and won't put my number on it. I don't put my number on it, anything. And a lot of people say, well, how you get your tax break? Okay, if I'm doing what God's will is, he's going to take care of me. Y'all can't pay me what they going to pay me in dividends. I really don't care about that. I'm not putting $2 million in church. So, I mean, really? That's just me now. Otherwise, y'all going to get your tithe report and get your $50 because that's about the most you're going to get, maybe 100. I'm just saying. But, yeah, so I do plan to give so back. Jackson State was the one that gave me a chance when others wouldn't. I did get a scholarship to Ole Miss. And
howdy.
Band, look, I had a band scholarship, and they gave me some music to sight read. I did not like the choice, and nor did I said, oh, this is what you want me to sight read? I won't be doing that. It was a partial scholarship, but I was like, no.
Hey, well, you look like you made a great decision. You chose a very great school and a very great state and city. Again, last year, you know, it's funny, again, I want to go back to it really quickly before we wrap things up. Last year we were volunteering.
I know, right? We did do that, didn't we?
Mm-hmm. And getting ready to give gifts, and now this year looks completely different. With the outlook and the bound of what we hope to happen in 2021, we're looking forward to a lot of new things on this network. But nonetheless, we're still going to do what we can as our part to kind of just chip in and give back. It just is so different because we're both hands-on individuals.
Yeah. And that was so good. It was rewarding, man. It was a good time.
It really was. Yeah. It really was. Yeah. But yeah, that's that. It's quickly how things change and how things progress, and some things, you know, you look back and you reflect on.
Right.
One of the things that I think I can say I'm most certainly thankful for this holiday season and being on this show is the opportunities that I've had to meet the people that we've come across, but also knowing where we're going to encounter more people like yourself, like myself, like others at this network that, as you say, educate. This network educates.
You know, that word educate, I heard it used once before. I'm trying to think who used that word. And he had to explain to people that it's actually a real word. But it's not one that people use often. I hear you use it a lot. But, yes, educate. I like that.
Hey, thanks so much, guys, for joining us on this wrapping up Season 2 of Financial Fitness. I can't believe 2020 was.
Didn't it go by? Now that it's gone, it seems like it's going fast now. But at first, it was like,
we started off very hot out the gate, and COVID shut us down, and we made the adjustments. You managed everything well, of course, as being Alvin and your production and your studio, and, you know, dealing with that high stress environment. While when I would come in, it just seemed like, hey, easy money. Do what you need to do and get going. But I can tell, with all that you do and all you've done for this network, there's work to be put in as a self-employed individual.
Yeah, it is. This is my third show today. My first one was a kids show. So imagine me turning my dial from kids to adults. So you got 27-year-olds hollering at you on the Zoom. Like, hey, Mr. Alvin, what are we cooking today? It's like, okay, let me get my mind right, so.
And here we are now on financial fitness, where you're getting a little bit healthier. You're getting a little bit better, getting educated. That's right. And, we'll get you in a little bit better shape for those 3 shows next time.
Sure.
But, you finished the main one strong.
Yes.
You stayed heavy on the arm wrap today. Anyone who doesn't know, that's, or what is arm wrap? Is that oh, shoot. Cut this part out. All right.
No, we're going to let it stay.
I'm thinking now it's like as many rounds as possible. That's what it is.
Okay.
Here, CrossFit came in my mind. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to Financial Fitness. This is our host, our producer, the amazing Alvin Watson. Thank you so much, sir. Hey, Merry Christmas to all of our listeners out there. We'll be back in 2021 with some exciting things to come.
Got a surprise for you in 2021.
This is Financial Fitness on the Old-Fashioned Health Network. Good health, inside and out. Jared and Alvin.